This is Unit 6, Week 2, question number 2. How did we end up acquiring Hawaii? And for a long time, Hawaii was a stopping off point for whaling ships, others. We'd sent missionaries there early on, a lot of our Protestant missionaries, mid-1800s. But essentially, in 1875, the U.S. signed an agreement with King Kamehameha III, establishing trade relations and especially removing the tariff on Hawaiian sugarcane. So sugarcane could enter the United States without a tariff. So it was cheaper than sugarcane that was grown in the Caribbean, even though that was closer. What did this mean for the Hawaiian economy? It boomed. Missionaries who'd settled there and established huge sugarcane plantations grew rich. Local Hawaiians didn't want to work for them, so they brought in tremendous numbers of Japanese and Chinese, especially Japanese. That's why there's a huge Asian contingent heritage racially, culturally in Hawaii today. And however, in 1890, the McKinley Tariff put the tariff back on, killing the sugarcane industry, collapsing much of the economy of Hawaii, creating a huge problem. Hawaiian planters had a simpler solution. Well, if they could just join the U.S., they wouldn't have to be subject to this, is there a tariff, isn't there a tariff? In 1887, the planters essentially kind of forced the king to sign a new constitution, granting them representative rights and positions, bayonet constitution, and the Hawaiian sugarcane industry is kind of going back and forth, and then finally they lobbied significantly the United States to fully adopt them. Planters essentially almost overthrew the country. In fact, they invited in the U.S. military, and 150 Marines came ashore with John L. Stevens, overthrowing the Hawaiian government and establishing a republic, and then immediately asking the United States to annex them. Benjamin Harrison, the president at the time, was in favor of annexation in 1892, but when he left and Grover Cleveland came in, he sent an investigator, member of Congress from Georgia, Mr. Blunt, and James Blunt went there and came back with the announcement, Hawaiians don't really want to be part of the United States. So Cleveland deferred the annexation, actually Blunt went back and lobbied the planters, Sanford P. Dole of Dole Fruit Juice being one of the major planters, to give the government back to Queen Lil. And Queen Liliuokalani got quite a following in the United States. In fact, it became an interesting humorous cry in the U.S., Hawaii for Hawaiians, and return it to an absolute monarchy, which is what Queen Lil wanted to set up. However, with a new, more imperialist, expansionist president, William McKinley, in the White House, in 1898, the U.S. did officially annex Hawaii, and then it became a U.S. territory in 1900. And it has a huge, significant role, certainly, with Pearl Harbor as a military base, and has had a considerable role in American history. But there's still contention in Hawaii. Even today, Hawaiians fly a state flag, if it's in a window, upside down, you know they're in favor of independence and anti-American. But that's it from some guy in an Aloha print shirt. That's why we ended up with all the sugarcane plantations, a massive military base, all on account of politics of sugarcane.